I'm sorry. I was answering an email and I lost track of time. But I want to thank y'all for joining me again today. Shout out to the NTZ crew, Jacob Tanjay, Beach of Life, Elliot Mercado. I know y'all going to be on here. I appreciate everything y'all do for me. Of course, we have a topic. It's my top 10 list of countries to retire on a budget. Remember, it's my list. I believe everybody should have their own list. I believe we should take control of our retirement. But let me give a shout out to any new viewers and subscribers joining me for the first time. Also, anybody catching this on replay, and then my old heads. What's up, Roger, Stanley, Walk G's, Jeffrey Tatter, one of the oldest old heads on here. Harold Wax says, sending love from Newport News. Thank you, brother. I was stationed in Norfolk, and I had a little lady friend that lived in Suffolk. And I think I used to have to, Newport News wasn't too far away from that. Leroy Day says, I can't wait to enjoy one of these parties together soon. Yeah, the next meet and greet is June 29th, everybody. If you look on my community page, and I'm going to keep posting it on there as a reminder, in Iloilo City. I'm co-sponsoring it with Philippines in Full Effect, Stephen and his wife, Bea, in Iloilo City. It's at the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill. As they say, it's a real nice place. A couple of guys already messaged me, said they live across the street in some condominiums, said they'll be there. I'm just trying to spread it around, guys. What's up, Sam Champion? Mike Dorsonville, Mike D. I wasn't picking on you the other day about your house, man. I just thought, me being from Kentucky, you from Florida, I said, man, that's a nice old chunk for a mortgage. What's up, Gerald Wilkins? W Secrets to Success. Cal still sleeping. Wake up, we here. Now, I was on that email. A guy, one of my buddies, Razor Rays, he emailed me. All right, well, baby, he said, get my popcorn ready for the show, y'all. Yeah, the peso is 56.02, which is great. It's sticking up there around that 56, which is, I mean, it's fantastic. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm going to say it's fantastic. I wanted to give y'all a Mayan volcano update. It's at alert 3, and here's what the seismologists are saying. They're saying that just means it's currently in a relatively high level of unrest, as the magma is at the crater and hazardous eruptions are possible within weeks or days. So I just like to give you an update. Keep an eye on that, man. But is there any place where Americans visit or retire that's scrutinized more than the Philippines? I mean, it's really getting ridiculous. I mean, every time I turn on YouTube or social media, somebody's making a video about our choice to retire over here or visit over here or vlogging over here, and I don't get it. I mean, it's just one option, but no other place is scrutinized as much. The expats aren't scrutinized as much. The vloggers certainly. I just don't get it. People should live and let live. That's just the way I look at it. And that's why I came up with this list. Because believe it or not, this may not be my final destination. I'm still young, man. And I've been to most of these places on my list. There's only a few that I haven't been. But I've had friends and relatives and associates go there. So, everybody's different, too, when it comes to where they want to retire. When people say something about the United States is on my list, by the way. but I just can't afford to retire there. And if you say just anything about the United States, they want to jump down your throat. Like, man, no place is a utopia, and you're in a delusion or you're sleepwalking if you don't see what's going on over there. I mean, as a black man, I just have to tell you like it is. I don't feel comfortable over there. I've never felt comfortable in my own country. So, take that the way you want to take it. I mean, it's mostly people who don't have to walk in my shoes over there. I'm not a victim. That's why I left. But I mean, I'm not bashing America. I just can't afford to retire there. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not any of that. I'm not a travel agent. This is just my list. I think everybody should have a list, and you should take control of your retirement. Don't just go by what somebody else is telling you. Go boots on the ground. And I saw a video the other day called Boots on the Ground. They're interviewing two black guys. I'm like, man, I take that as a compliment, though. But the first one on my list is Costa Rica. And I'm going to tell you why I put that on there, because I'm going to tell you what's important to me. Okay, I put it down here. I want to go to a place where I feel welcome. So people are very high on the list. Okay, I want a warm climate. Environment is very important to me, too. Is it stable? Is it politically stable? I want to go somewhere where I can be productive. Okay, and then the affordability. Can I afford to live there? Because they want to knock you if you didn't make the best financial decisions in your life. Well, see, I don't make excuses for that. I actually did. I live my life one day at a time. But those are the things that are important to me. So I put Costa Rica on here because it checked all the list. I mean, everything on the list. And it has a great universal healthcare system. You pay a small monthly fee, and it takes care of all your medical and medications. Now, I have one of my oldest clients I've ever had, the oldest client I've ever had. She was from Costa Rica, and when she found out I was coming to the Philippines, she begged me to go there before she died. I've never made it, but it's a place that I'm going, and it's close to the United States. So I got Costa Rica on there. My buddy Q Dub, that's what he calls himself. He came to the Philippines and visited me. And he actually flew his girlfriend, his Filipino girlfriend, well, his fiance now, during the pandemic and lockdowns. He flew her from the Philippines to Costa Rica, and they had a great time. He said it was kind of expensive, but according to everything I read, the cost of living compared to the United States is very low, and it's a very affordable place. But yeah, he said that process was like, it was the same as a K-1 visa. He said it was pretty difficult. So yeah, that's the first one on the list. That's number 10. Number 9 is Tanzania. That's in Africa. Now, one of my buddies, Franz, he came over here. He visited me. He actually lives in Tanzania now. He married an African woman. He's got a beautiful home over there. And he said, he sends me pictures and videos all the time of the beaches. It checks all the boxes for me. The only time I went to Africa was when I was in the Navy. We went to Mombasa, Kenya. I didn't put that on the list, but Tanzania is number 9. Number 8 is the Dominican Republic. That's what I just said, the Dominican Republic. The cost of living, it's got the climate, several of the world's top beaches, cost of healthcare, close to the United States, access to international airports. It says an easy banking system. What does that mean? Somebody talk to me that's been over there. I love the chance that most countries are low when compared to the U.S. I believe Switzerland is an exception. Yeah, the United States, I didn't bash the United States, but it is kind of expensive to live there, among other things. Like I said, if you're gay, okay, I don't think you'd want to go to any of them African countries and retire because of their attitude toward gay people. So, see, we all have different wants and needs and things that we're looking for in our retirement. It's not just about cost of living. Yeah, that's way up there at the list, but you don't want to go to a place where they're burning gays at the stakes. I don't want to go to a place where, black people aren't welcome. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that you get your own list. Don't come to the Philippines and retire just because I say it's a nice place, or just because you're watching these YouTube channels, man. They're hard on us over here. I mean, guys, we're just regular men trying to make it the best way we can. I mean, they hang on every word we say. Oh, why are you taking retirement advice from these guys? I'm not a retirement advisor. I just share with you my experiences over here. And if it looks attractive to you, maybe you might want to come over here. But make up your own list. Number 7, I got Colombia. I've been to Colombia before. We went to Cartagena, Colombia. It's a very beautiful place, man. The people treated me nice. I love the beach. I'm a beach man. Raymond Walker said, it's nice. You would like it, Cal. Are you talking about the Dominican Republic or Tanzania? But I fell in love with Cartagena, Colombia. See, before I ever came to the Philippines, a lot of these countries that I'm talking about, they were high on my list of places that I was going to relocate and be an expat. But Colombia, number 6, I put Portugal. And everybody talks about Portugal all the time. Actually, there's a YouTube channel. It's a black couple. They live over there, but they're more into investments and stuff. And it's a very attractive place to retire. And, okay, Geechee Lion Journey says, hey, I'm not looking anywhere but the Philippines. Well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. You've never been here before. I would come up with a list of places, man, and I would work my way out. If you've never flown overseas, if you've never been out of the country, I'd go to Dominican Republic. I'd go to Costa Rica. I'd go to some of these places, Jamaica, to get my feet wet of what it's like to really be in another culture, in another country. People are speaking a different language. They're eating different foods. The money looks different. Because just to hop on a plane and come to the Philippines and put everything down and bet everything on the spin of the wheel, I tell you, man, you're taking a chance. But there's nothing wrong with that. $90,000. G says Japan has beautiful scenery. Yeah, I didn't put Japan on my list because I've never been there. It's just a place I've never wanted to go. It's certainly not for somebody on a budget. Hey, thanks, Craig Anthony, for that super chat. He says, keeping it 100, keep rocking this channel. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. And I won't take that for granted. Yeah, he says, yeah, Japan is beautiful. I've flown in there a few times. I've never gotten off the plane, but it's just someplace I've never. Remember, this is my list. Jeff Beckett said, just watched the vlogger today who lives in Costa Rica for 8 years and left. States because it's more popular now. It's harder to make more affordable. Also had issues with crime. Yeah, now, I was reading an article on Costa Rica, and it said that even though, crime is low, they have low crime rates, crime can be an issue. But remember, nothing good happens after midnight. I think you can do some things, man, your due diligence. Other than being in the wrong place at the wrong time, we can't do anything about that. But other than that, you can do some things to protect yourself anywhere that you go. But first of all, being out late at night, being at ATMs late at night, that sort of thing. Hey, Mo says, my Mbuntak brother Cal, I know I'm not retiring in the U.S., Canada, or Europe. Philippines is my first choice right now. Just returned from Philippines 2 weeks ago, and I'm already making plans to return. Yeah, but you're a world traveler, Mo. You can say that. You've been all over the world. So when you come to the Philippines, you got something to weigh it up against other than the United States. Jay Money says Japan is one of the 3 safest places in the world. He says it's a closed society. I want to go somewhere where I'm truly welcome, guys. Remember Japan, Okinawa, my buddy Jeffrey Taylor, he's on Okinawa. He says the weather's almost like it is in the Philippines. But that would be the only place I would go then, because climate is very important to me. I want a tropical climate. I want a warm climate. So, yeah, Portugal. Number 6, I put Brazil. I've been to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, fell in love with it. I would move there in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even hesitate. They told us don't go around Copacabana Beach. We went anyway and had a ball. I mean, the people called me Muhammad Ali when I was over there. The little kids. I had a great time. It's the weekend, man. Says, I know what you're talking about, Unc, but we're not supposed to say anything about that, so they say. What are you talking about, brother? But yeah, I got Brazil up there because the first time really that I saw a fishnet bikini in person. You see them on the magazine covers and stuff like that, but we're at an outdoor cafe along Copacabana Beach, and they just leave nothing to be desired. I fell in love with the lifestyle. I'm like, I was in the Navy, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, it had to have been about 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're out. I'm like, well, does anybody work? They're out there on the beach. They're playing soccer. They're playing volleyball, and these women are just walking up and down. These Brazilian women in just G-string bikinis, fishnet bikinis. I fell in love with it. I like sitting outside with the sun shining, the breeze from the ocean, drinking a cup of coffee or whatever, man. This is what I look for in a retirement. One of those videos I'm telling you about in the comments, Critter Hunter said something that was real profound. The guy was talking about this, talking about that. He said, hey, you never said anything about happiness. Doesn't happiness fit in there some kind of way? Is it all about numbers and stuff? Because nobody's going to tell me when to take my Social Security. If I want to take it at 62, I'm going to take it. It's nothing to argue about, guys. But it's only Americans. We're the only ones that make videos like that. We scrutinize the Philippines, the expats who come here, the people who visit here, certainly the vloggers. It's unwarranted, man. It's like y'all need to find something else to talk about. It's really ridiculous to me. But he said that, and it made a lot of sense because I don't care how low the cost of living is. I don't want to go anywhere where black people are looked down on, where I don't feel comfortable. Or if I'm a gay man, I don't want to go somewhere and they hate gays. Or if I'm a woman, y'all know what I'm talking about. Or if I'm a white guy and they don't like white people. Yeah, because there's places in the world where they don't like white people. For whatever reason or not. So that's why it's important that you make your own list, that you take control of your own retirement. How can somebody tell you when to? He has this chart and he's showing stuff and like, oh, he went all the way out to 85. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even looking at 85. I ain't looking at today. What's up, Daryl Formore? Thanks for that super chat. We send our sincerest condolences out to you, brother. No one deserves what happened in your family, man. I'll keep it at that. You know what happened. I know what happened. And, You know, he was a coward. That's why he took his own life. But I just want to send my sincerest condolences out to your family, man. No one should have to put up with that. Hey, Chi-Town 38, even for Chicago, Calvin, I heard that the volcano over there is active again. Stay safe, bro. Yes, far from me. My thoughts are with the people who are near there because it's alert 3. They're saying it's currently in a relatively high level of unrest. Oh, okay. So I was talking about how hard it is for us in certain countries because of negative stigmas they may have about us as a collective. Latin Caribbean countries are better in that sense. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because that's very important when it comes to a place. If you're going to retire outside of your country, because you can retire inside of your country. I've got the United States on this list, guys. Okay. And I would love to retire down on the Gold Coast, but I didn't save my money. I didn't make the right investment choices with my money, but it doesn't mean I can't dream. Yeah, I would love to live there. I would love to live in one of those, on one of those nice beaches in Miami and down in South Florida. I stayed on the Lexington Country Club in Fort Myers Beach, Florida before. Gil Bellman says Brazil has a large black population. Yeah, I think it's second only to Africa, or third outside of Africa and the United States. The same with Colombia. But number 4 is Mexico. Really, these next 4 could all, be 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4. These are my top 4. Mexico, man. I fell in love with Mexico. I've been there several times. It was my first place that I was going to consider before I ever considered the Philippines. I've got a lot of friends that are living there now. It's the number 1 place for American retirees outside the United States or American expats because of its close proximity to the United States, but of course, the vibrant culture. I love Mexican food, man. I love it. And it's number 4 on my list. I went to Playa del Carmen. It was the first trip I ever won as an insurance agent. And I was glad my wife was with me because it was one of the promises I made to her. We eventually went there. We went to Vegas. We went to, like I said, Fort Myers, Florida. I took her several places before we split up. AC Knight says, when I lived in Hawaii, the locals didn't like white people. Well, there's some places. So if one of my important points is I want to go somewhere where I'm welcome, and if I was a white person, I wouldn't go to Hawaii then. But I'm just keeping it real, man. We live in a real world. There's no sense in me talking up here with this sugary stuff, man. I'm a black man. I want to go somewhere where I ain't got to be fighting every damn day. I fought every day over in America. Man, people think I'm playing. I used to have to fight the Ku Klux Klan to get in school as a 7-year-old. But after a while, it gets taxing on you, man. And then you'll have people pushing back, oh, there's no racism over there. And, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to argue with you about it. So what you going to say? What everything I experienced was a delusion? It's all in my head? And what's going on now? But it's a big factor for me. And over here, the people don't bother me. They can silently hate me, but they don't show it. No matter how Filipinos feel about me, they don't hate me. I don't deal with the stuff I used to deal with at home. Yeah, and that's a fact, man. So get mad at me for telling the truth. If I'm a gay man, I'm not gonna go to any of them African countries over there that are burning gay men at the stakes. So am I lying about that? Come on, guys. It's very, very important when you make your list that you take that kind of stuff in consideration. We're all different, man. That's no one size fits all retirement plan. That's why I don't understand these channels bashing people for coming to the Philippines. Man, turn the channel. You know, that's all I'm saying, man. You know, you can't grow your content and you can't grow your channel on the backs of somebody else. If people want to come over, let them come. The world's Earth is approximately 198 million square miles. If this is where they fit in, let them fit in. But man, they scrutinize the Philippines, man. They just scrutinize it. It's unfair. It's unnecessary. Of course, it's real and it's alive, Laura. You know it is. You're married to an African. You were married to an African man before. But if you say something about that, people get on your case about it. I love the chance. I love Mexican food as well. However, my wife doesn't care for it, unfortunately. Are you married to a Filipino? Because I'm going to tell you, this Mexican restaurant that Michael Beach of Life turned me on to in Cebu, down by Mango Square, it stays crowded with Filipino people. Hey, Chidozo Ibuna, he says, I enjoy your content. Thanks. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I really do. But I'm not going to bash anybody because they want to go to the Dominican Republic. I don't see Dominican Republican bloggers and people over there going through what bloggers over here go through. Expats over here. Everybody's got to be an expert over here. I mean, you know, they put it, I mean, it's just a different standard that they put us on over here. And I just think you're wasting your time, man. Yeah, well, see, that's what they want to say. He said, yeah, Cal, 21 years of marriage, yeah. But a lot of their food, a lot of Mexican food and Filipino food have a lot in common, being that, you know, they both were colonized by the Spanish. They just, you know, put some different ingredients in it. They said the Dominican Republic is over 80% African. But that's the reason why this is my list. I'm not saying this is the top 10 list. I said this is my top 10 because I want a place where I'm comfortable, where the environment is good. It's, you know, I can be productive. The politics is stable. It's a warm climate. It's affordable. That's what's important to me. W Secrets to Success blog, thanks for that super chat. He said, my retirement list in order: exchange rate, infrastructure, healthcare, friendly culture, cleanliness, and environment. And last but not least, women that are fit, friendly, and femininity. And this is good that you've got this because it's important. That's a lot to check off, but it's not impossible. But I'm not going to just go to another country because somebody said so. I've never lived my life that way. I'm not a follower like that. I don't follow the followers. So I'm not going to get on here and say, oh, the Philippines is the only place I'm coming to. I've been to some places long before the Philippines. I've been around the world to most places. So I got something to weigh it up against. Maybe I need to go around again, though. Okay, to get a more fresher review. Hey, what's up? Philip Cooper says, what's up, Cal? Both Japan and Hawaii are way too expensive. Now, this guy knows. He's a traveler, too. Hawaii don't care for white folks because when they arrive there, they bring their ideas and ways with them. I love the Polynesian culture. Thank you, Philip, for chiming in on that. I think it's important, though, when you when you pick a place, even in your own country, if it's outside of your comfort zone, if you're going from Kentucky to Florida, you go somewhere where you're going to be accepted, where you're at least going to be tolerated, man, you know. Elat Mikado, thanks for that super chat. I love you, Cal. I love you back. Congratulations on that job at New Job. You put it out there in the universe, Elat, and it came back, see? It's true. Wak G says, I've been to the DR. It was nice, but they have a problem between them and Haitians. Yeah. You know, it seems to me that somebody created that hate because, hell, they're the same people, really. They live on the same damn island, right? Or was I looking at something wrong? I love the chance that I hate following the herd. I consider that a sign of weakness. Yes, it's just too easy. It's too easy. That's easy content when you make every video you're making. You're not really trolling, but you're criticizing the country over here. You know, no place is a utopia. It can be your best fit over here. Who are you to tell me that the Philippines is not, in my opinion, the best place for me? I don't understand that, but you got people who do that, and they're only Americans that do it. So no, I'm not going to follow the herd either. Philip Cooper says, I was in Baja, Mexico a week ago. How it reminded me of the Philippines. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I was looking at Costa Rica, the pros and cons of Costa Rica, and I'm like, well, damn, everything they was talking about. You know, everything moves slow. There was, you know, it's just the red tape. You know, there was the pros and the cons. It was, I said, well, damn, if I'd have closed my eyes and I didn't know I was reading an article on Costa Rica, I swore they were talking about the Philippines. They were talking about the warm and welcoming people, the tropical climate, the beautiful landscape, stunning beaches, you know, forests, mountains. He said, you can own land in the Dominican Republic, by the way. Now, see, that's something that people want. That seems to be important for people. I would put that on my list then. If I'm going to retire somewhere, if that's important to me, then I got to put that on my list. I'm not going to come to a country and retire. But see, that's not important to me. Where I'm going to, I can own the land. Because you never really own it. Start missing those tax payments and see what happens. Johnny S. is one of the main reasons I don't care for the southern states. He says the best place are off the radar. Well, you know, what's your list then? DIY? They're off the radar. We've always got some smart-ass people on here, don't we? They want to be smarter than the vloggers. They want to be smarter, the smartest person on the live stream. Yeah, he said colorless politics between Dominicans and Haitians. Yeah, but aren't they on the same island, really? Oh, okay. He says Costa Rica. Nina Soriano says Costa Rica is ruined now. It's Florida South. Yeah, okay, I'm coming. He says, are there any other Southeast Asian countries you consider? Well, Mexico's number 4. Number 3 is Thailand. Because, see, I'm still not, I haven't made up my mind about Thailand yet. I was only there 5 days, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was a fantastic place. People said I didn't like it. Man, y'all twisting my words. Y'all know I was talking about Soy 6 over there. Anybody's ever been to Thailand will tell you that's a beautiful place. It's exotic. It's got everything. It's more Asian than the Philippines, believe it or not. But it's a beautiful place, and I haven't shut the door on Thailand yet. I really haven't. And were it not for these crazy visa restrictions, I'd probably spend more time over there. But I don't, you can pull some strings and pay some money under the table and all that to stay there longer. But see, I don't want to be a place where I'm retired, I'm kicked back, and now I got to worry about it. These people going to be knocking on the door. Hey, that visa you acquired over there, it's not right. So every 45 days, I got to pack up and leave. So yeah, Thailand is number 3. I was in Bangkok for 3 nights, and I was in Pattaya for 2 nights. And just those little short period of time, because remember, we had a tourist guide. Excuse me, not some fancy tour guide. He was a local guy. Jeffrey Tatter hooked me up with him, Mr. Lee. And see, he took us around to all the fancy places in a short period of time. And yeah, I fell in love with Pattaya for sure. I could rent a condominium there and just look, even though I can't even get in that water, I could just look in all that down that beach road, up and down that beach road, man. It sort of reminded me of Copacabana, except that beach was just so much wider. It was much more people. They were more active. But yeah, number 2, I've got the United States. Don't fool yourself. If you got money, man, it's probably one of the best places in the world to live. The infrastructure, everything that W. Secrets of Success was talking about is in the United States. But honestly, I can't live the life I want to live. The closer you get to the beach, the higher it is. The real cosmopolitan places in America, it's just too expensive. It's for rich people. I can't afford it, but I put it way up there because it is a place that I want to live. That's why my friends, my family, that's where I'm from. That's my home. I just can't afford to live there. And although I've dealt with all the stuff that goes on over there, I can tolerate that because it's home. But, if $5,000 a month is only going to get me a studio in one of those senior citizen warehouses over there, I'm sorry, man. I just have to be away from my friends and family from long stretches of time. Because nothing comes, there's nothing for free, man. You can't get something for nothing. Nature frowns on the desire to get something for nothing. So the country that checks all the boxes, which number 1 in my book is the Philippines, it just so happens to be 8,000 miles away from me. It has everything that I wanted that's on my list. It's politically stable over here, believe it or not. I don't even talk politics, but it's politically stable over here. It's affordable over here. It's a warm and welcoming population. Filipinos, they don't bother you for real. Right underneath there, though, if you disrespect them now, if you disrespect the culture, they'll cut you in half and they won't have a second thought about it. The warm climate all year round, that's very important to me. Yeah, he's got Panama on here. See, this is what I start the conversation. And this is what I want y'all to chime in. This is my list. My top 10 list. Man, not yours. I'm not going to force it on you, but this is what I want you to, I start the conversation. So, Gina G, CCTV says, hey, Cal, I keep telling my husband to watch your channel if we are moving back to the Philippines. Thank you so much. But it's number one on my retirement list. And people say, well, it's not better than the United States. Well, it's better for me than the United States. And, you know, they didn't stop flying planes back and forth to the Philippines and the United States. But this is the place where I can live the life that I deserve. I deserve a better life. I don't deserve to be looked down on for the color of my skin, or looked down on because I don't have a college degree and I don't earn a certain type of money and I don't look a certain way. See, over here it doesn't matter to somebody like me. That does the locals, do they look at that? Is that important to each other? Maybe, but to me as an outsider, it doesn't affect me. So that's why I put the Philippines here on my list, and I've done it. I've been living here, you know, for almost in December to be 5 years. It's not something that I'm just talking about. I'm walking it. I'm showing you that, yeah, it's possible, but don't come over here because of me. Come over here because of you. Get on the plane, come over here, scope it out, stay a while, come back and forth a while, and then make your decision. You make the decision. Stop going home disappointed and then blaming it on somebody else because you didn't do your due diligence. He says, what about Cambodia? What about it? I've never been there. It's not on my list. Is it a nice place? Tell us about it. What's nice about it? Should we check it out? It's a popular place. You know, before the Philippines just blew up and became the over here in Southeast Asia. It was neck and neck with Thailand, but I'd see more videos on Cambodia. I'm talking about just regular people relocating there, either teaching English, whatever it was. There's several channels I was watching. I wasn't even watching channels from the Philippines. I was watching channels for Cambodians because that's what I wanted to do. I was itching to get out of the United States. I was like, well, how can I? I couldn't retire. I said, you know, if I quit my job now, I don't have enough money. So what was I going to do? And a lot of those people were teaching English. Manila 69 says, Atlanta or Dallas, the cost of living is better than Cali. Yeah, I believe, is California the most expensive state? I'm not sure. There you go. Have a nice day. So Portugal and Spain are cheap as the Philippines and great places to retire. Well, thank you. Yeah, Portugal's on my list. But remember, if I go there now, I've got to learn that language, really. I really got to learn the language. You know, and then that colorism is over there too now in those countries. Even though I put Portugal on there because there's a black couple that's got a YouTube channel. They're more investors and they got rid of everything and moved there. I mean, they're in their 40s. I wish I could think of the name of their channel. It's been so long, though. Well, I've never been to the DR, but I've got a friend from Louisville, Kentucky. He's a writer, too. He was on my panel. I think he likes the DR because it's closer. He lives in Atlanta now. Hell, he just goes to DR like he's going to Florida somewhere. But he likes the Philippines. He was married to a Filipina. He might have been married to 2 Filipinas before. Jam Silver says Vietnam is not bad either, but just like Thailand, it's a visa issue. Yeah, now I was reading where Vietnam is they're changing this to 90 days. 90 days. You can stay without a visa. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a whole lot better than 30 days, 45 days and all that, and then doing on visa runs, because when you live in your best life, man, it doesn't take long. These days they fly by over here. Imagine moved in this apartment May the 1st. Hell, what's the day? June the 15th? Yeah, I'll be paying rent again pretty soon. Cedric Dewberry says, Philippines is my paradise. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, guys. You know, we had some bad rain last night. I mean, really, really bad. I mean, it was storming last night. And I had a feeling that that my was going to be, my signal was going to be bad. I had a feeling that, and that's what's happening. But it'll clear up. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Mark says the Philippines is the best place to retire, hands down. Hold on, let me answer this real quick. It's from Maryland. She's bringing the kids here. They're on vacation. Just a second, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to do that because, yes, they're coming. And I want to see if she can pick up my passport. It's at the immigration place. He says the DR is cheap in some places, but we stay in the resort area all the time. Robert James says San Andreas Island off the coast of Colombia. He says Korea is crowded. He says Sunshine shows you like gay people. So I don't know if you're gay or not. I've got a niece that's gay. I know she's gay, and I love my niece. But, you know, it's not like people are walking around with gay stamped on their head. I mean, was this like a trick question or something? I don't have any problem with anybody. I was saying that when you choose your retirement destination, you want to make sure it's a place that's going to be friendly to you. If you're gay, you don't want to go to one of those African countries down there who are burning gays at the stake. I don't have a problem with anybody's lifestyle or your sexual preference or anything like that. I never have and I never will. Life goes by too quick for that. But Pinoy Johnny Michael, let me tell you that I don't know if people are gay or not. They don't wear t-shirts to say I'm gay. And if I do see them with the rainbow stuff on, I respect that. I mean, what do you think? That they're any different than me? They're no different. I'm pretty sure when they take a dump, they sit down on the toilet. Oh, okay, so Cal, I've never been, but it's on my radar. I purchased my ticket back to the Philippines this weekend. I'm taking advantage of the 59-day visa this time. Yeah, well, it's there anyway. There's nothing to really take advantage of. You get the 30 days when you come in here. All you got to do is extend. It's not going to cost you any more or less if you get it there or here. Before your 30 days is up, you go and extend for 29 days. I mean, unless they change that, well, you don't have to do it. Now you can just go 59 days consecutively. I don't know. But one thing I love about the Philippines is their visa situation over here. It's the best in the world. Remember, geniuses all over the planet, man, and the Philippines is no exception. They had some geniuses here. They said, hey, we're not getting the numbers that Thailand, Malaysia, and other places are doing. So we got to come up with something that's going to make up the deficit. And they know how people love the Philippines. The people who love the Philippines love the Philippines. And they'll pay even if they double. And I want the immigration listen to me now. Even if y'all doubled the immigration fees, people aren't going anywhere. The people who love the Philippines love the Philippines. Okay? They're not going anywhere. But remember, it used to be 18 months. They changed it to 36 months because it was a genius move. Okay, Emmanuel Jones says the couple in Portugal is our rich journey. Thank you for that. Yeah, the Philippines changed that because they're geniuses. And they put that express lane fee on there. That's genius. Because who wants to sit around for 2 or 3 days waiting for their passport? You pay that 500 pesos, boom, you get it the same day. Okay, so it's our black utopia? Which one is it? Bob Newhart said, what did I miss? Why did you move? Why are you back to paying rent? Well, I didn't move. I still have my house in San Carlos City. Actually, that wall is already, it's smooth already. They haven't skim coated and painted it yet. But remember, I told you it's going to take a while, but that's done. I'm getting my gate repainted. No, I'm there. I just wanted the opportunity to live on the beach came up, and I took it. And for the price that I'm paying, I'm actually spending less. I'm actually saving money by living here. I said, bro, I'm still waiting on my passport. It takes forever. Yeah, I think it got behind because of, the lockdowns. Mo says, brother Cal, Malaysia raised the requirements for the 10-year retirement visa too. Even the retirement visa in the Philippines, you don't have to pay for it. You just give a deposit. You can get that back anytime. Say, for instance, if you have a retirement visa, SRV, and then you get married to a Filipino citizen, you can switch that over to a 13A and get your money back. And basically get the same benefits, basically. Hal Funk Bay said, Cal, I'm in the Philippines on June 27. I can't wait. Yeah, you'll be coming back. Yeah. Okay, My Rich Journey. Okay. Our Rich Journey. I'm going to look it up. No Tingo Dinero says, what's up, Cal? I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina. What places would you recommend I visit first in the Philippines? I mean, if you're going to be here for 2 weeks, I'd fly into Cebu. And then I'd see Boracay, and I'd see either Panglao Bahal, or I'd see one of those beaches that's on Cebu Island. Because you're going to fly into Mactan Island. I'd go to Camotes, Malapascua, Bantayan Island. You don't even have to go to Boracay, but I wouldn't come to the Philippines without going to Boracay. It's kind of expensive on the food side, but it's worth it. Yeah, I'm just saying they could. I'm saying they could double the fee, and people wouldn't complain. They would pay it because the people who love the Philippines, like me, they love it. They're going to do that. But it seems like the Philippines is going the opposite way. They're saying they're making it less expensive. It used to be 18 months for a long-term stay visa. Now it's 36 months, and the only people complaining, you guessed it, Americans, they're complaining. They're wanting the people, you can't live over here you're trying to live over here on a tourist visa. No, I'm not. It's none of your business. Why are you worried about it? People are crazy. Raymond Walker said, Calvin, have you ever considered New Zealand? No, but let me be honest and tell you, when I got divorced and I got that 20,000, I was going to go around the world. That was my mindset. And I had Philippines first. I didn't put no specific place in the Philippines. Then I put Australia. Then New Zealand, then come all the way back around, because New Zealand, that's it. You're coming back around. Earth is round, no matter what people tell you. I just came here, man. I didn't go anywhere else. I fell in love with the place. And that's that. That was the end of the story. But I had some places to weigh it up against. Man, Mexico is all that to me. Go to Playa del Carmen. Go to Cancun, Mexico, man. I'm going to tell you that it's nice, man. You would think, it's really no different than being here. Only you're just right in the United States back door. That's one of the reasons why I decided against it. I came out to the Philippines because I said, well, I'm going to go the furthest place I can go from the United States. Not knowing, I'm going to tell you how naive I was. I'm thinking that there's no United States influence over here, which I was wrong. But you get my point. I didn't want to be right there at the United States door. But here's some things that people that may be important to you also. Healthcare. See, some people are sick, or some people, as we get older, we want a place where the healthcare is affordable. And of course, in the United States, most of us, when you retire, you got your retirement insurance, either from your job or Medicare. So that's you don't have to worry about that, but that's high on people's list. The cost of living, because as an insurance agent, one of the things that scared a lot of my clients the most was outliving their money. So if you can come to a place where your money's going to stretch, it's going to last you longer, you don't have that to worry about. A lot of people like the climate. They want a warm climate. Why you think Hawaii, Florida, California, those places are so popular? It's because of the warm weather. As I've gotten older, man, cold weather is really, really bad on me. I knew that when I was 55. I came here in December of 2018, man. I bought my ticket in October. Those last 2 months, man, damn near killed me out there knocking on doors, waiting for people to open the door. Man, it's freezing out there. Remember, you want to be accepted. It's a lot of things only you're going to know. We all have different wants and needs. Yours are going to be different than mine because you're not the same as me. But don't let anybody tell you where to retire or what to do with your money or when to take your Social Security. You do that. Take control of your retirement. You've been running your life all this time, and now in the fourth quarter, we're slowly approaching the end. Now you want to turn it over to somebody else. It doesn't make sense to me. And my decisions may not make any sense to you. They never will. They're not supposed to, because they're my decisions. They're not yours. So quit, critiquing me. Show me what you're talking about in your actions. Okay, don't, what do they say? The best sermon is how you live. Then live it, walk it. Don't tell me about it. That's what I do over here with my vlogs. I live it. I'm showing you this. S1 Philly Vibe says, hey, Cal, done my research on the Philippines. I plan to have boots on the ground in September to see if it's a good fit for me for retirement in 6 years. And that's good. Now, put some more, make a broader list. At least 3 places, that you can go to. And you can weigh them up because you're going to have the United States here. Everything's going to look good compared to the United States to certain people. So you may want to have, 3 or 4 other people because, okay, there's a lot of people who have left the Philippines and went to Colombia. Medellin, Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia. I'd like to talk to them and ask them, why. But maybe after a while, they said, well, I just don't want to live here for the rest of my life. And maybe that's where I am because I haven't shut the door on Thailand, man. The more and more I think about it, and hell, I'm glad I left from Dumaguete because I was talking to this guy, Ken. Yeah, he talked so glowingly about Thailand that I was going to buy my ticket and leave the same damn day. Yeah, Craig Anthony says, I look at all these crazy questions, and it only means one thing. People, visit a place before you start making all these accusations based on your fears and lack of knowledge. And that's what I'm saying. You know, before you say, because one guy already on here, he says, hey, the Philippines is it for me. I'm not going anywhere else. But he's never been here before. Why would you want to do that? Okay, she says, I'm going home to, what's that? Sorsogon, Philippines in July. Now, where is that? Is that in Luzon? Where is that? Because somebody was telling me that that's where that the volcano was. But according to the news, it was in Albay or something like that. Manila says, how did you come with your name, Sunshine Shoulders? I just heard, once I decided that I was going to make a Facebook page, not even a YouTube channel, helping Filipinos during the pandemic, the neighbors were blasting Sunshine on my Sunshine on My Shoulders by John Denver. So I said, why don't I just be Sunshine Shoulders? Why don't I shed some light into places where only darkness used to be? And that's really what my theme is. You know, we want to bring some light into places where only darkness used to be. And I made a decision I was going to spin the wheel and sacrifice 1,000 pesos out of my savings every week during the pandemic to help Filipinos who were struggling over here, long before my channel started. But that's how I got it. So I said, I'm going to just be Sunshine Shoulders. And it stuck, man, you know. Okay, he says, Craig Anthony says, Hobart, Tasmania was a favorite spot of mine. Now, is that in Africa? Where is that, Craig? There you go. Have a nice day. Said the bad thing is the poor Philippines are going to get all these expats that are glass half empty, whining about money, food, waiting in line to heat, etc. Well, once you have a made up mind, there you go. Have a nice day. You throw all that stuff to the side. See, make up your mind that you're going to do something. All that stuff is really going to be, it's going to be a non-issue, because a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, it's a non-issue for me. It's more guys like you throwing that narrative out there that the food over here isn't good. And how ridiculous is that? How many ways can you cook chicken, fish, pork, and beef? They say, oh, the food over here isn't good. Right, because you got the wrong people cooking it, evidently. And all they talking about the heat. There's ways you can combat that heat. They got all this water around, get in the swimming pool. You know, if you want to see negative, then you don't want to think negative. But you're one of those guys that want to scrutinize everybody that comes to the Philippines. You want to scrutinize the Philippines. Man, go on somebody else's channel with that. We ain't trying to hear all that. Because you keep up with this negative stuff, I'm going to zap you anyway. If people want to come over here, let them come. It's their choice. They're grown men. You know, what makes you think that only weak men come over here? You guys are crazy, man. Most of the guys I know over here right now, probably 99% of, I've never really met a loser over here. I've never met anyone that had to tuck their tail and run home. The guys that I meet and I hang around with, they got plenty of money. They've already established. They came over here. They're trying to get away from all that racism and violence in their country. All that hate that people like you bring over here. So, yeah, get off my channel with that foolishness, man. We trying to live today. It's easy to be negative, man. You know, it takes the same amount of energy to succeed as it does to fail, man. Why don't you just succeed? Why don't you just be positive? Quit wasting energy. Yo Joe said, greeting, Cal. Rabbit May the 12th. Been in Mindanao for a month. Touring around on my Baja J Maxima. Great place to be and no problems at all. Just renewed my visa in Cagayan de Oro in 10 minutes. Yeah. Mine's is finished. I just got to pick it up in Dumaguete. Maryland's coming, so hopefully she'll pick it up for me if they'll let her. Not I'm gonna have to get on the ferry and go get it. But I love Cagayan de Oro. No matter where you go, there you are. So if you're miserable, the best place in the world is not going to do you any good. And this is what people don't seem to understand. You can't blame your problems. If I'm 60 years old and I show up in the Philippines, how can I blame my problems on the Philippines? What about the other 60 years I've lived? Who gets the blame for that? Well, if you look in the mirror, Quintessential says, you're doing a fantastic job, Cal. Thank you, brother. Mr. Passport King says, I kind of like the laid-back tropical climate of Belize, San Pedro, and Burgess, not Belize City. That's popular. One of my good friends in Louisville, Kentucky, he lived there. He took his whole family there. He was a school teacher, but he came back. I didn't get that story, but I know that he moved there, and he was really high on that. Yeah, we got to do our own due diligence, and then don't go on what I say, because it's enough people on my back over here, and the other vloggers, scrutinizing every word we say, as if people are really listening to us. As far as, I can't make people retire over here. That's just, that's how it is. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a travel agent or anything like that. I think we all should have our own list. I believe we should all have our own list of places, even in your own country. Take control of your retirement. Don't let these people discourage you. It's the weekend, man. So, yeah, Black Expat Radio left the Philippines and has been in Colombia for 5 years and hasn't looked back, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the guys I was talking about. Excuse me. Craig Anthony says, I'm planning on coming in December to check it out and to see and be there with a friend who is meeting his future relatives. And that's what I would suggest. Visit the country first. Okay, South Luzon. Yeah, sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Now, tune will run through my head. That's how I came up with my name. We want to spread some light, bring some light into places where only darkness used to be. I don't know. Yeah, see, Australia's a nice place that people are retiring to, unless you're an Australian. Then they're saying, hey, I've been here my whole life. I want to see something else. And I think that's what it is. We want something different. What's up, Michael? But the thing is, have you ever been hungry for a whole day? Probably not. Because if you're in the United States, you can get something to eat. There's so many homeless shelters and just churches and places to eat in America that no one should ever go hungry. It's a lack of knowledge is the reason they go hungry. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, the top city in the whole country for homeless, drug addicted. And I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it until I needed the help. But you can go places, man, it's, you can sleep, you get clothes, you can eat, they'll help you get a job. But over here, the struggle is real, and sometimes people need a little helping hand. Getaway K says, hey, Cal, can you make a video with tips for young travelers going to the PH? I went to Thailand twice as a 25-year-old black man this year. The other expats made me feel like a unicorn. Well, it'd be hard for me to make a video with tips for young travelers because I'm an old traveler. I would just say, whatever you like to do there, Getaway K, you can do here. I mean, if you're young, 25, you probably like the club scene. I would go to Boracay, Panglao, Bohol, Cebu, in. I mean, what kind of tips, if you can be specific with it, maybe I can help you. It just depends on what you want to do. Retire 2019 says, as long as I have Aircon, I'm good. Yeah. We lived the whole year without Aircon. I got used to it. I was just over here. But now I've got to have it because I haven't been without it. But I used to just pull the fan right near the bed and just lay there and let the fan blow on me. Retire said child support, spousal support, pension, wiped out from a divorce is the main reason many American men can't financially live in the Philippines or other foreign countries. Yeah, and that's a great point. I was looking at something just made me click on a video of a guy, he's living in Ghana. And that's the point he made. He said, I can't afford, he said, my American responsibilities are making it impossible for me to retire over here in Ghana. And you're right, retard, because you can't have 1 foot in your country and 1 foot in the Philippines or wherever it is you retire. I say get all those loose ends tied up over there, because if not, you're not going to be able to relax over here. Because those people, that child support is going to keep on climbing up, man. I'm so glad that I was able to get out from under that, man. I was very fortunate. See, the universe listens, man, because I had custody of my 2 youngest daughters, man. I'm paying child support, and I have a child support rearage. So what I did, I hired a lawyer. I said, hey, man, I got custody of my 2 youngest children. Is there anything I can do? We went to court. He knew the judge. The judge canceled my child support, stopped my arrears. She didn't get rid of it because I still owed like $14,000, right? So I said, okay, I can work with this $14,000. So what I did, I'm just at my computer one day because I'm looking at my files, I'm making some calls, and I said, well, I wonder if the state of Kentucky would have any pity on me. I've got my 2 youngest kids. I've got all $14,000. So I just shot a message off to the Attorney General in Kentucky and told him my situation, where his assistant sent it back to me and said, Mr. Roach, fortunately, you live in Kentucky, one of the 9 states that will take 25% of your arrears as payment in full and wipe out your child support. So I had to pay him like $3,500, man, and wiped it out. And man, I was able to sleep better at night, man. So, if you have arrears, man, check and see if your state is one of those 9 states. It could be more now. Thanks, Craig Anthony, for that super sticker. It could be more states now, but I mean, they don't play about that. They'll take your passport. They was even some talk about taking your license, but I think they shut that down. But it just goes to show you the extent they'll go to, and you're like, well, how am I supposed to get back and forth to work if I don't have if you took my license? And I don't know. At one time when it first started in Kentucky, they were really tough on child support. They had a special wing in the penitentiary, man, for people who owe child support. They were sending you to prison for it. And I'm like, come on, man. Basically a debtor's prison. They were sending you to prison if you owe child support. Robert Dame says, anywhere is fine if there's family interference, just a little distance, maybe 15 miles. Well, usually there's not going to be a family interference. Robert Dame says, anywhere is fine if there's family. I'm sorry. Pat Ian in the Philippines says, just had an earthquake here in Pampanga, 6.2. Wow. That's pretty damn big. I don't think that would trigger a tsunami, though. I don't think that's big enough for a tsunami. But yeah, when I've never had a problem with families over here. That's just one of those things that get tossed out there. Will your woman, will she look after her family? Absolutely she is. But she doesn't put it on you to do it. I promise you, no one in, okay, I've had 3 families I've dealt with over here. And I tell you this over and over and over, guys. They've never asked me for 1 peso, and when they asked her, yeah. And of course, it's going to come to me, but they've never asked me. Okay, Sam McCall says, I felt it in General Trey Escovedo. It was nothing like I'm used to in Southern California. Wow. Well, I certainly didn't feel it. You know, when you're in the Philippines, these different islands, it's almost like being in a different country. Each island is like its own country. And it really was like that before the Spanish. They came under that Filipino flag to fight the Spanish. But most people, most of these islands over here had their own language, culture, traditions, and everything. Food, the way they cook food, and still like that today. That was the biggest surprise to me was, that there was more than one language over here. I mean, there's several, man. I mean, really. Okay, we were talking to a guy here on the beach a few days ago. They're gone. His name was Marvin. He was from Bacolod. Well, Bacolod is 2 hours from San Carlos City, which Bacolod is Ilongo, and San Carlos City is Bisaya. But then right across the bay, you've got Iloilo City. He said, well, they speak the same language as we do, but he said they speak it softer, and it's a difference. What's up, Moments with Mitch? He says, I'm watching from the sleep lab at the hospital tonight. I've lost weight and making sure my CPAP machine is still correct. Best wishes, Mitch. Moments of Mitch. That's CPAP. Yeah, he said it was near Angeles City. I've experienced 2 earthquakes here. One was really bad in Lapu-Lapu City, and then the aftershock, and then like a small one. Well, actually, it was a small one in San Carlos City, but one that I could feel in Zamboanga. But the real earthquake that I felt was in Lapu-Lapu City. It was 2012, New Year's Eve or Christmas 2011. It was right around in that week. I mean, it's really bad, man. Scary. Oh, XXX said it was 5.5 here. Yeah, he's up in Pampanga. Robert Dame says, I need to be by the water, preferably ocean beaches. I need my feet in the sand to be happy. I've made it a daily ritual to walk up and down the coastline here in my bare feet, with my feet in the sand, and let that warm water, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's healing. He said, what about the volcano? How far is that from you? It's very far from me. But it's at alert 3 now. And they're watching that. Yeah. Everybody's feeling it now. Because Batangas, that's up in Luzon. He said 6.2 would break windows. Wow, I didn't know that. Now, RVRV, he's Filipino. He says, center of earthquake is in Calatagan, Batangas, down south of Luzon. Pampanga is up north of Luzon. Is there any, hopefully there's no injuries or fatalities. I'm going to have to look at that. Wow. Yes, it's a light rain here. You know, because I was just telling y'all the other day, 2 days ago, about it being no rain here. I said, well, it's a rainy season. It hasn't rained since I've been here. But, man, last night, my God, it was a storm, man. I mean, a real storm. And it rained all night. I don't think it stopped. It's got like a little sprinkle now. Hey, Franz, he says, how you doing, Calvin? Blessings. Yeah, see, that's Franz. He's the guy that lives in Tanzania. I put that on my list of the top 10 places to retire, Franz. Are you at home now? I know you travel all around with your job. Bill Lance of the Highlands says Pacific Ring of Fire, volcanic activity goes with seismic activity. Yeah. You're right about that, because seismologists are the ones who monitor the volcanoes over here. That's what they were talking about today. They put it on alert 3. You know, they're connected. I hope that's not a sign of something worse to come. Okay, he said that's very shallow. I'm pretty sure it scared some people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Oh, okay. He said, I'm back stateside Florida visiting family. Oh, okay. Now, how far of a flight is that from the United States to Tanzania? Excuse me, everybody. I got up early than I usually get up today. Yeah, Tanzania, those pictures you were sending me, man, and you're right there by the beach. And he said that the labor there was similar to what the labor is here, because he lived in the Philippines for a few years, so he knows a little bit about the Philippines too. So there has to be something about Tanzania for him to say, well, I'm going to Tanzania instead of the Philippines. You know, the Philippines isn't for everybody, but the people who get it here, they get it. And they would pay double those immigration fees if all of a sudden immigration doubled them. But I would say just find your sweet spot wherever it is on the earth, because it's out there, man. It may be where you are now. I love my home country, man. I love America. I just can't afford to live the life I deserve there. They priced me out. I mean, you know, it's classism now. Craig Anthony says, I have to do some research on weather conditions, and the best place to be is in the southern portion of the Philippines below Manila. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm in Central Visayas, which south of Luzon, and it's about the safest place as far as weather is concerned. Now, you got the Eastern Visayas where Tacloban, Leyte, Samar, you know, that's Typhoon Alley. And then as you go down south, it's pretty mild until you get into that Davao region and you get those earthquakes. Oh, okay. He said, scared me to death. I'll put together back in case. Oh, he says, I'm put together back in case, just in case I had to evacuate. Oh, man. Oh, he said he put together a bag just in case I had to evacuate. Hey, Vincent Everson, welcome to the chat. He said, hey, Calvin, I've been watching for years. His first live chat participation. Thank you. He says, I bet earthquake damage there in the Philippines is greater than in a place like California. The materials used in the Philippines isn't always the best there for building. Well, it just depends. I mean, I guarantee an earthquake is not going to do a whole lot of damage to my house. I mean, a lot of these houses over here, I mean, are built earthquake to resist earthquakes. Now, if you're talking about in the squatters area and places like that, yeah, but see, you're generalizing, man. Remember, the Philippines is a big place. There's people here who have more money than you and me, and they live just as good as we do in the West. But if all you do is watch the documentaries and all that stuff like that, you'll be fooled, man, into thinking a lot of houses in that typhoon didn't even weren't affected. The most that happened was a lot of roofs were torn off. But yeah, they've got some pretty sturdy. I would be saying the same thing about America over there. All that, what do you think? Plywood and drywall and 2x4s. You think that's going to stand up against a volcano? All that fabricated stuff y'all using to build houses over there, fill lands to the highlands? Is that what you think? You think that's going to hold up better than hollow block and cement? I don't know. I have to take my chances with the hollow block and cement. BT said, Godfather, thanks for changing my life, man. I appreciate your knowledge. Man, thank you, brother. I mean, it's humbling, man. It really is. Jumping Jehoshaphat says, some places seem like they'd be great retirement destinations like Cape Verde, but the healthcare infrastructure isn't well developed. And that's important. That's on a lot of people's list, the healthcare. Remember, self-care is the best care, guys. You can live right next door to a hospital. If you're not taking care of yourself, what good is that? They'll get you in there. You have a massive heart attack, a cardiac arrest at home. Your chances of them bringing you back to life are going to be a little better, but hell, is that going to change you? Probably not. Yeah, he says you have to rebar and cross-section that to support the house throughout the structure. And that's what they do. They put a lot of rebar in that concrete. So I sit there and watch them build my house. Because I used to wonder, when you come by these unfinished houses or houses and you see all the rebar coming up through the concrete. See, I didn't know what that was at first. But yeah, that strengthens the concrete. But yeah, I didn't know what that was. And I'm going to walk down here to get my laundry. Hopefully the rain will stop. Erwin Ox Salute says, shout out from San Diego, brother. Thanks for your work. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that some people can appreciate what we're trying to do over here. This is the most scrutinized place on the planet. And I had no idea until I got on YouTube. And I was like, wow, why do people scrutinize the Philippines so much? What is it about the Philippines that makes people scrutinize it so much? And then the visitors, they scrutinize. The expats, they scrutinize. The vloggers, they scrutinize. If you just come over here, they'll say, oh, you're a fool. What are you going to the Philippines for? Because I wanted to, man. It's my life. You're not going to lay down your life for me. You're not going to die for me. Live and let live. We always got to criticize. There's no such thing as constructive criticism, guys. Nobody likes criticism. Look that up. Laura says Mother Nature has a variety of stuff she taught us. Well, we live on a volatile planet. This is a very volatile planet. No matter where you go. And that's one of the arguments people always get into when they talk about religion and stuff like that. You know, they talk about that kind of stuff. They say, well, why would this perfect entity create such an imperfect planet to put you on? Well, that's another debate for another time. Life goes by too quick, guys, for that. I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm trying to encourage people to do things to get more out of life, man, because you're going to die. If you don't hear anything else on my live stream today, you're going to absolutely die. Your life is running out right now. So you're going to either live the way you want to live or keep sitting around worrying about what other people think about you and all of that, living this hesitant existence if you want to. Or you can put your big boy pants on, man, your big black boots, and go out there and grab you some life, man. That's what I did. I'm going to wait around, man. Death is a great teacher, man, but it seems like it doesn't teach us anything. How many of your friends and family died and you still walking around here like you're going to live for 1,000 years? You're not. So you might as well start living now, because you're certainly dying. You're certainly dying, guys, and that's my thing. That's why I made my top 10 list. Put your top 10 list on that. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? Hey, the dumb at Thandom, Tiwa. Good information, bro. I'm looking forward to come there and meet beautiful ladies. Well, don't just come here to meet beautiful ladies, but then again, if that's what you want to do, yeah, come on, man. Who am I to tell you what to do? But it's more to the Philippines than women. Did I have to tell you that again, that when I was standing in line with the Filipino buying ferry tickets, he was as excited about American women as we are about Filipino women. Just let that sink in. And we're running from American women, and he's running to American women. It's just that they're different, guys. That's all it is. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all it is. What's up, Jack? I'm sorry. I saw you earlier. I didn't click on you, man. What's up, brother? Your boobie's supposed to be there today. But yeah, guys, it's time to live. That's what I want my channel to show you. That's what I want to shine through more than anything. Yeah, just the fact that I'm in the Philippines doesn't mean anything. Wherever you are, your life is running out, man. What are you going to do about it? That's my question to you today. Your life is running out. What are you going to do about it? Sit around and complain, criticize, woe is me, the economy, racism, and do something about it then. If you can do something about it, if it's not to get your butt up and get out of that situation, go into a better environment. Because that's really all that happens to people when they come over here. It's a change of environment. Look it up and see how important environment is on your life. But what we do, we give all the credit to a lady. You know, we come over here, so many men leave the Philippines disappointed because they come over here and they think that a lady is going to do for them what the lady can't even do for herself. So we've given her some type of special powers that she just doesn't have, guys. After you be over here for as long as me, you see there's no special power. But what does happen is that change of environment. That's what wakes your senses up. That's what wakes you up. That's why you're so excited when you get ready to land in Manila. The woman's not even on the plane yet. You haven't even seen her yet. You're excited. It's that new attitude, man, that comes about from that new environment. That's what's going to change you. The woman is part of the equation. She's not the answer. She's not the answer, guys. Oh, wow. Motivation says, some may say, if life was a journey, then what about when the journey ends? Jack Wolfgang, well, it just ends. Why are you worried about that? He said the brown out in Dumagetti. Wow. I know Maryland said there was a brown out yesterday in St. Carlos. Well, they really don't need, I'm not a financial guru or anything like that. I don't know if this would even be possible because what are you talking about? What expats? He said, Cal, is there a way to create a health insurance fund for those who are retired there in the Philippines? Well, the simplest thing would be to buy you some health insurance that's accepted in the Philippines. That would be the best way because that would be too difficult. Because who would it be? Would it just be for American retirees, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Australians, European? You see what I'm saying? It's not just Americans over here. Hey, what's up, Mike? Jerome Morgan says, well, brother, misery hates happiness and loves company. Yeah, you're right about that. But just don't invite misery to your damn party. He said, instead of mentioning when Duma has a brownout, we should just announce when it has power. Well, it has more brownouts than I could remember. It's always got a brownout there. It was just, okay, Maryland came here last Friday. No, Saturday. And they had a brownout. She was right up into getting ready to buy her ticket. And she got, it was a brownout. She got lucky. Somebody sold her ticket. Oh, okay. Beach of Life says, good evening, Robert. I'm having a blessed day attending my daughter's graduation in Washington. Hey, congratulations, man. Also, guys, before I get off of here, I want to announce that the next meet and greet is June 29th in Iloilo City at the Bourbon Street Grill. I don't think it's a bar and grill. I'm not for sure. Let me check that and see what that is. Because that sounds kind of crazy. But I don't want to scare anybody to think, that we're showing up at some crazy place. But let's see. Yeah, it is bar and grill, but it's a real nice place, though. It's not what you think when you hear bar and grill. He said, why is it a brownout, not a blackout? Because all areas aren't affected, Laura. That's why they call it a brownout. Everybody's not without power. I know a lot of times in St. Carlos City, one half of the city will have power and the other half won't. And then they'll cut the power over there and restore the power over here. So I think that's why they call it a brownout. That's what I was told. Yeah, that's what I was told. But yes, June 28th from 3 p.m. until, it doesn't cost anything. You just got to pay for your food and drinks. Come on out. If you've never been to Iloilo City, it's really a short, it's not even a hop, skip, and jump from Moncton Airport. It's 24 minutes by plane. Yeah, 24 minutes by plane. If you want to attend, or if you're in Bacolod, it's a 45-minute ferry ride. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But because Stephen and Bea have put this thing together, I know it's going to be nice. I know it's a nice place because they're a classy couple. You see what Q Adventures, you see the places he gets, they're really nice too. Hey, 90,000 bucks. G said, good evening, Calvin and Chad. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you. I love LaChan. He says it's called load shedding, a brownout, similar to when a pilot has to shut down certain aircraft power functions so that the emergency power doesn't shut down. Okay. Greg Anthony says a brownout is outages in a grid. A blackout is the whole grid. Yeah. You have to find out what the grid is for your area. He says, how far am I from Lapu Lapu City? Well, right now, I'm about 4 hours from Lapu Lapu. Hey, Danny, thanks for that super chat. Road to the Philippines. Y'all need to check out Danny's channel, man, and give him some support, man. He's the hardest working vlogger on YouTube. This guy will come here. He'll stay here for 3 weeks, and he'll make 2 years worth of videos while he's here. I think it's amazing the way he does it. You don't have to tell me your secret, but he certainly does it. He says, I just bought my tickets to Davao City for the end of August. Spending another 30 days in paradise. Can't wait to get off this hamster wheel permanently soon, Calvin. I'm beyond ready, man. I know you are, man. You told me. I met you, Danny. You came to the house, you and your fiance. We went to the resort together. You said sometimes you work 70 hours a week. That's almost like working 2 jobs, man. It's a lot of hours, man. You must really love what you're doing, or you just got a hell of a plan. But thanks again for that super chat, man. He's the real deal, guys. You know, a lot of people I've never met before. I don't know if you're real or not, but Danny's real. John Cooper Pick says, maybe the criticism comes from people that are jealous because you're doing what they can't do. Stick by your guns, Cal. I don't know, but it's just not me, John. It's you. If you want to come here, you're going to catch scrutiny. Certainly, if you want to retire here, everybody's got a better plan. And I'm like, okay, well, just go ahead and execute your plan. Don't criticize mine. Don't tell me why I moved to the Philippines. You don't know why I moved here. And it may be a better place for you somewhere else. I just don't understand it, man. I mean, half the content about the Philippines is bashing the Philippines are the people over here, and I don't get it. Yeah, I like Danny's channel. He's got a strange sense of humor. You've lost some weight too, Danny, when I seen you in person versus the way you look on screen. Gary Walker said, how was the town of Bislick when you were there, Calvin? Well, I actually just went through Bislick. I stayed in barangay of Bislick City. It was called Luwigan. It's beautiful down that way, you know, northern Mindanao. You're not going to have any problems there. But it is a beautiful place. I stayed in Luwigan. And then they got Managoy City. Just little bitty places all around, you know, right in Bislick, brother. Hey, Isaiah Allen says, hey, Cal, your testimony on why you chose to help people to the best of your ability, encourage others to do the same was a humbling video to watch. Had me ready to go to church and call and family. Yeah, you know, I'm just telling you my story, man. You know, when I decided to get help, people came out of the woodwork to help me. Once they realized, hey, this guy's serious, he's really ready to do that 180. And they were strangers, most of them, because friends and family, they had heard it all before. Yeah, you know, you said you're going to stop. You said that how many times? But the strangers, they really didn't know any better. And they said, okay, if you're ready, then we're ready to help you, man. And they said, all you have to do is reach back and help somebody else. That's all you have to do. And when the guy gave me the $2, that's what he told me. He didn't give me any other direct instructions. He said, just do it for somebody else. I've just been doing it ever since, man. And it's changed my life, man. It's a universal principle. It's not something I invented. I'm just telling you that it works. It's going to work even if you don't do it. It's just not going to work for you. But everything that I have today, material and spiritual, came as a result of me helping people. Every single thing that I have that's of any value. It says what? What's he saying? What is this? We are now married, Apple? What are you talking about? Yeah, I forgot. TJ's over there too. Yeah, he's in Seattle. Look him up. Michael Beach of Life. I rode the Philippines. Says, you're right, Calvin. I lost around 40 pounds since I first visited the Philippines. I got to be in fairly good shape to do some exploring in the Philippines. Yeah, you really do. Really to do some exploring anywhere. But yeah, I knew you had lost some weight because I saw your videos long before you even came on here. Before I even knew you, I invited you on my panel. But I used to just watch your channels because I'm like, well, what's this guy talking about sitting in his damn lazy boy in his living room, you know, with this funny look on his face. "53 Shades Darker." I said, what's up, peeps? He said he's from Thailand. Is that the same as Thailand? Yeah, guys, I'm going to get off here. I want to thank y'all for your super chat, super stickers, thumbs up, because my signal's not good today, man. It's raining outside, and it's just going to be one of them days. But I want to thank y'all for all y'all support. This was my top 10 list. I'm going to give it to you again. 10 is Costa Rica. Number 9 was Tanzania. Number 8, Dominican Republic. Number 7, Colombia. 6 was Brazil. 5 was Portugal. 4 was Mexico. 3 was Thailand. 2 was the United States. And number 1 was the Philippines. The Philippines had to be number 1 because this is where I'm retired. It couldn't be 5 because if it was 5, then I wouldn't be in the Philippines. I'd be wherever number 1 is. But honestly, my money's just not long enough to retire in America. But I had to put it number 2 because it is more than likely my second or third destination as I get older. It's just how it is. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time.